Hello, good afternoon, Facebook. How is everyone doing? Come on in, come on in. It's another beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Middletown, Pennsylvania. And we are here with the Middletown Area Historical Society, and we are going to open Middletown's History Vault. Once again, come on in, come on in. We hope everybody had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. And we're down here. You can see behind me the Swatara Creek. We're right about the mouth of the Swatara Creek where it dumps into the Susquehanna River. So come on in. I got a new toy. I have been blessed by the Historical Society and its members. One of the members has purchased me a Steadicam. It's a wand that I can hold, and it holds my camera and it stays level no matter which way I move my hand. And I just appreciate the Historical Society members and their support in doing these Facebook Live videos and helping me with research of topics that I'm not already educated on. So I just want to give them a shout out as people come in to watch the video. Hit those emojis, let us know where you're from, and we're going to get talking here. So when people think about this region and you hear the word steel or iron, the first thing that pops into your head is, of course, Steelton and Bethlehem Steel and the big steel mill. But people probably don't think of Middletown and its neighbor across the river here, which was Port Royal. Now we all know it as Royalton Borough. Don't think of this area as a steel or iron industry area, but it actually was. Prior to the 1800s, iron was a scarce commodity. 100 pounds of it was worth about the weight of the head of one cattle. But it was readily available. Iron ore was readily available. Pioneers built iron-making furnaces into the sides of the hills and produced iron bars, and what we would call pig iron. And in 1796, the Stubbs brothers, Daniel and Thomas, erected a furnace in Port Royal, or Royalton, right here about the mouth of the Swatara Creek before it empties into the Susquehanna River. And they called that the Great Iron Works. They claimed that this was the first steel manufacturer in America. Now, I haven't done any in-depth research on that part, so I would have to see if that claim is actually true or not. But it's very possible that we produce steel right here in the Middletown Royalton area first in America. They would produce an excellent quality of blister steel. And basically what blister steel is pig iron that's reheated, and the carbon monoxide caused an extreme heat to produce the blisters within the steel. In 1805, a much larger furnace was actually built further up the Swatara Creek. In 1931, John Gamber built a charcoal furnace beside the Swatara near the old brickyard. If you're familiar with the area, Royalton, the upper portion, which is basically across from Hoffer Park here in Middletown, was a brickyard property, and they named that the Christiana furnace after his daughter. It had a 30-foot stack, had a capacity of about 1,350 tons of steel coming out of that. In 1853, the foundry was sold to J. Donald Cameron. Now, that name might sound very familiar. If you chimed into our Facebook Live, we talked about the Simon Cameron House. J. Donald Cameron was the son of Simon Cameron. So J. Donald Cameron was a senator. He was a businessman. He was fascinated with industry. So he bought into the steel mill, iron mills around here, and the refineries right along the Swatara Creek. And he named it the Cameron Furnace Company. The stack then went from 30 to 48 feet, and it produced about 700 tons of iron a month. It would change hands 2 more times. It would get sold to a company down in Philadelphia. They had produced some of the finest iron in steel. It produced 170 tons a week at this point. When it was sold to the company down in Philadelphia, it kind of fell in disrepair, and it became deteriorated, rapidly deteriorated, and it was actually taken down. The stacks to that furnace was taken down on July 5th, 1894. It was about 125,000 bricks and stone. And here's where the connection comes in again. Not only was J. Donald Cameron a connection to Middletown from Port Royal or Royalton, but the brick from the stack of the old furnace, 125,000 bricks in the stone, were then used to build Colonel Young's 3-story building right on Ann Street, just a few blocks from where I'm at here in Middletown. And it built 2 dwellings. It was 19 total rooms trimmed with brownstone. And if you drive up Ann Street, just across from Wesley United Methodist Church, you can see this structure. It was considered a very substantial structure in Middletown back in the day, back in the 1800s, early 1900s, and they actually called it the Castle. And when you look at it, it kind of does sort of have a castle-esque look, and that building still stands again on Ann Street, just about a block up from South Union Street, right across from Wesley United Methodist Church. So when you think of steel, you always instantly go to the Bethlehem Steel Plant up in Steelton. But right here along the Swatara Creek, we had iron steel plants, we had grist mills, we had sawmills right along this area, heavy industry area, obviously because we have the creek going right into the Susquehanna River and the canals that help bring the coal from the coal region down here to help us burn and turn our furnaces on. So Middletown was a heavy industry area, and even though those steel and iron plants were across the river in Port Royal, it had a connection back to Middletown. So that concludes today's little quick video, guys. We only give you a short little synopsis on this because the history of Middletown goes so deep. I could be here for quite some time to have these conversations with you. But please consider stopping in sometime when the Middletown Historical Society Museum opens back up. We're at 29 East Main Street here in Middletown, right across from 7-Eleven, basically. And history, as I always say, if it's part of your life and it's something that fascinates you, consider making a contribution to the Middletown Area Historical Society. You can send a check to 29 East Main Street, Middletown, Pennsylvania, 17057. It would be greatly appreciated. Guys, any and all contributions are beneficial to the society. We ask you, please share these videos, help spread the word. We've been hitting well over 2,000 people seeing these videos, which is pretty cool overall. Guys, we just thank you so much for stopping in and talking to us, and we hope to see you again next Sunday. Have a wonderful day. Take care.